Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Fusion's Ramblings. Today, in this series, we spend a few minutes talking about some random topics, and you get to listen, or maybe you don't. It don't matter. Anyways, what is today's topics? Today, we're going to be talking about Minecraft, but specifically, we're going to talk about my Minecraft wish list. So there's a update coming out, 1.18. Some of you may have heard about it. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you don't even play Minecraft. And in this update, there's some long expected changes that a lot of people have been waiting for, but not everything that everybody would like to have. So some of the changes that are happening is the world height is changing in two directions, both from a negative value and from a positive value, meaning that you'll be able to go up into the sky, clear up to 276 or something like that, and then you can go down below ground, below zero to negative 60. Currently, you're limited. You're stuck at zero for how deep you can go, and usually 256 for how high you can go. And for most players, that's not really much of a big deal because, they're playing the game from a adventure standpoint, kill the bosses, um, move on, accomplish all the tasks, get the achievements, things like that. And then, of course, there's a lot of people also that play just from a PvP standpoint where they are playing with other players, maybe on a faction server or on a gaming server, and their primary goal is just to kill everybody. But for the rest of us who are like me, we are builders. We love the survival mode, we love the adventure, we love the challenges, a little bit of PvP, but primarily we like to build. And if you've watched my other series, then you know that that's what I do. And so build height has always been an issue because you can't do a whole lot within the size limits of the Minecraft world. You can only go so high, and so therefore, if you're trying to build something, I don't know, magnificent or whatever, you're limited in how far you can go because um, in the end, you're only going to be able to build miniature scale items. And I'll give you an example. So there's someone on the Swan server that I've played with quite often, Doc, and he every season that the server is up, and he may do this on other servers, I don't know, um, but he builds the World Trade Center towers in commemorance of 9/11, and of course, the destruction of those towers. And so what he does is he builds them, and he tries to build them to scale, but unfortunately, he can only go, and put in like 40 floors of the building inside the game because of the build height limits of Minecraft. Uh, and so, while they look magnificent, they can't be built to true scale. And that's where the world height difference would be something that would be really nice to have. Personally, and I know a lot of people agree with me, we would like to see world height as far as going up, um, go to 500. Now, there's reasons that that wasn't done originally and why it's taken so long for, the developers to enhance the game to expand how large it is, and that primarily has to do with playability, meaning that when Minecraft came out, of course, computers weren't as great as they are today, and compact and um, inexpensive, overall. So they had to make sure that the game performed well for those types of computers. But today, your average computer can handle a lot more from both the processing side and a graphics capability. And so as a result, there's no reason the game can't be enhanced to go further. Now, of course, the developers have to be aware that there are other versions of Minecraft. There's the Xbox version, and there's the mobile version. and their goal is to try to sync them all up so that they're all similar, so that there's cross-play availability. Very tricky. So how do you build a game that works really good on a nice, decent computer, but is also going to work well on a mobile device? That's a challenge, and so that's one of the reasons it's taken so long. But personally, I would like build height to go up to that 500 level. There's just so much that you could do um, with that type of world height. I am happy with the changes that are coming. It'll definitely change what I can do and, the playability. Now, other things that I would be happy to see inside of Minecraft is more biomes. Now they are always steadily adding items. Like in this 1.18 update, there'll be some new mountain type biomes and a meadow biome, a high mountain meadow biome, and stony peaks is what they call it, and stony beaches and things like that, and that's cool. And they're always making small improvements like that, when they put out new versions of the game. But I would like to see more of a variety just throughout, as well as not just ones that you might think of here on, let's say, Earth, like a forest or something like that, but also biomes that are more, a little bit different and unique. That would be something that would be pretty cool to see. Um, there are a lot of mods out there. The game is heavily modded by players around the world, where they can go in and customize the game any way they want, and they can add to it and do all kinds of stuff. And, of course, that increases the functionality, changes what you can do from its playability. You can create new biomes, you can add items, you can do all kinds of things. But, that's not available for everybody because, one, you have to download and install those mods, and depending on how they're built and set up, they will either work really well or they won't. And so the default game is, of course, the best, because it's been optimized and tested, for playability and no errors and things like that. And so as much as possible, you want to try to keep it in the default game. And for that, of course, we're reliant upon the developers to make those changes then. Some of the biomes that I would like to see get introduced is more around different types of forests. Currently, there are birch forests, there are oak forests, there are dark oak roofed forests, spruce forests, there's like these mega spruce forests, and there's jungles, right? And those are your, well, I can't count it. I was going to say acacia, but that's not really a forest, it's just a tree that's available in the savannas. But I would like to see more introduced because, the more variety you can put in to the game from a block perspective, just the more you can do with it in being creative in your builds. And so that would be exciting to see, is new tree types, new biomes related to those trees. Things like fir. We could use some fir. We could use different types of, conifer trees. Let's say like alder, and what are some others? I can't even think. Ash, you name it. There's a lot of them out there. And then some of the exotic trees that come in from different countries, like boa trees from Africa, or I think those are Madagascar. Close enough. As well as trees that are, let's say juniper trees. Those are unique, and different things like that would be pretty cool to see within the game. And then also more animals. They are introducing, of course, animals all the time, and that's always exciting to see. But some of them are, I don't know, they don't have much use. And I know this is kind of a debatable thing. Like they're introducing goats, right? They just introduced goats. Now, of course, all over the world, goats have all types of uses. I mean, a good portion of the world's population eat goats, just like they eat cows or sheep or fish or anything else. So, but in the Minecraft version, they just stand there. There's nothing you can do with them. Well, I guess you can get their horns in 1.18 by making them ram against a rock or something, and the horn will break off, and then you have a horn to blow. But you know, you should be able to shear a goat, get wool. I guess you could, kill it and eat it because it is meat, and goat meat's pretty good. Um, But then other animals would be neat to have in the game. And of course, the key with the game is that you got to make everything useful. So that can be tricky. It would be cool to put an elephant in the game, but I definitely wouldn't want to encourage that you murder the elephant so you can get ivory. Right? That wouldn't be good. That's hard to determine the difference. Some people might say the same thing about a goat. Well, you're killing a goat, but yeah, it's because it's a food source, and it's a natural food source that's even used and farmed in today's world. Um, so it'd be tricky of how you can put other animals in and yet make them useful inside the game, whether it's, you ride it and it's a pack animal. I guess you could do that with an elephant, or an elephant allows you to chop down trees or knock down trees and collect the trees. That would make sense, maybe. Um, so that could be cool. Or different types of fish. They have huge amount of fish, tropical fish, and they've got salmon and they've got cod, but it'd be nice to have some larger fish. They do have dolphins. A shark would be cool. There's nothing in the water outside of the zombies that are really dangerous. So having a shark or something would be pretty cool. Just to create a little bit of adventure. Other things that I would like to see in game is more capability to build different types of items. Curves. That would be pretty cool. Being able to place curves into the game. So right now you can build like stairs. You can build of course slabs, and you got your square blocks and everything, but it'd be really nice if you could do columns that are round, for example, or arches that are round. Yes, if you make it large enough, you can put together a bunch of square and slab and staired blocks and create an arch that looks pretty realistic. But curved blocks would be pretty unique. That would change the game a lot, because instead of square trees, you'd actually have round trees. But that would be interesting to have inside the game. And then other options for your tools and armor and all of that. Currently right now, you've got your leather as your base. You've got iron, which is the next level. You do have a chain mail. You can't craft it, but you can purchase it from villagers or get it from zombies, things like that. And then, of course, you got gold armor, which makes absolutely no sense because, let's be practical. If you had armor made out of gold, you wouldn't even be able to move just from the sheer weight. So that one doesn't make sense. Then you have diamond armor, and that really doesn't make sense either, because diamond by itself, you cannot form into any sort of metal. Maybe if they were to, change it to where you combined armor with different metals, and so therefore you had a composite material like you use in diamond bit drills and things like that, then okay, that would make sense, where it has little specks of diamond in it, and so that's what makes it hard. But other minerals would be nice. I've seen lots of mods where there's minerals like titanium, and they just introduced copper, but you can't do anything with it except for make blocks and lightning rods, which is cool, and I do like the copper block, but then again, it's like, it could be more useful. Having aluminum would be cool. Having other types of, minerals that you can make things out of would be neat. And same thing with wood items. I mean, you can't craft any furniture within the game. You can kind of fake it. And they got things like this, a podium, and they've got bookshelves and whatnot. But it'd be nice if you could craft chairs and you could craft tables and you could actually sit at them and things like that would be pretty cool as well. Anyways, we are up on our time today, so I want to thank you for joining Fusion's Ramblings. And hopefully you'll come back for our next topic, and we shall see you then.